to see Charlie going through the same process? Did you discuss that with him at all? I know there's it's different situations and all, but
for sure. I mean, with both of us missing camp at the same time, it's nice to have somebody doing that with you. Obviously, it became more uncomfortable when he signed back and I was still at home. So through that time, I was communicating with him, and for that portion of it, being in the same situation with missing camp, it was good to have that resource to, talk to things about.
Brandon, I saw, Mitch Marner said that he had 2 offer sheets thrown at him. He right away said no. Did you have any hint that that was there? Or?
Don't believe so, no. I mean, you obviously see stuff that people kind of make up throughout on Twitter or stuff like that, so you just never know. But for me, no, nothing like that.
And what if you were put in that situation, would you still have preferred to resolve it here?
Oh, absolutely. This is where I want to be. And, I don't really know how that situation works, but like any guy says who is here, if I could have the opportunity to play here for even a little bit less than whatever an offer sheet would be, I'm not sure if that even is a thing, but I would choose here.
Last thing, you said some of the guys were giving you advice. What kind of advice were they giving you throughout the process?
I tried to pick Tori's brain of how it was when he had a 2-week holdout during training camp, just to see how that felt, how it was when he adjusted back through that process, if it put pressure on him to sign back and whatnot, and kind of escalate the situation. But he was really good, kept me kind of calm in that situation, and helped along those lines.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Johnny, this is where you want to be.
Yeah.
What does that say about just this room? That so many say that when they're coming back.
Just a special room in the regard of everybody wanting to be here and staying here. Like I said at the very beginning, it's like a family here. For me, I haven't been with any other NHL teams, but some guys that have come over, for instance, Charlie Coyle last year, the first day that he was with us, he said that he noticed just something special within this group and how we all communicate with each other, and they're just so close. So I recognize that. I realize how blessed I am to be here with that kind of atmosphere. So you obviously don't want to lose that.
Donnie yesterday was talking about sort of next level for you in terms of being more of a, presence in the room, leadership aspect of it.
Yeah.
How did that resonate for you when he was talking about it?
It feels really good for him to view me in that sort of way. For myself, it takes me a while to get adjusted. I feel like, my first year I was probably a little bit more quiet than I have been the past 2 years, and as I continue to progress in this league, I can, gain more confidence within being vocal and, helping even younger guys than myself, because I've been through some things that not everybody's been through so far. So I feel really good in that regard. I would like to take a step, especially with younger guys. I'm never going to overstep the boundaries of the older guys and try and, fit in within that, but definitely learn from those guys to, progress in my own way.
It's got a room with, you mentioned superstars, right? I mean, it's got Z and Birdie and Marsh. So in that sense, do they encourage it, or is that kind of hard to say, well, kind of who am I here, right?
No, they encourage it. I think for them, they recognize that having different voices at different times is very important throughout the room. It can bring a different sort of spark when it's not, the same leadership group that's always saying something. Say you have a bad period in a game, those guys are obviously going to be the first ones to say something, but it shows, passion for the game and, a little bit of leadership when you can speak up in that regard and have something to say, and maybe that can fire up the guy next to you or someone else. For me, when guys who you wouldn't have expected to, speak within the room in situations like that, it's definitely, got me re-engaged in the game and more focused.
Donnie also mentioned that there might be some more offense in your game that you can squeeze out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, is that a tricky balance? Trying to push, your skill set, but also not losing your identity.
Yeah. For me, I've kind of stuck to my roots with the defensive aspect of my game. I feel like that's what really pushed me to be in the NHL, so I didn't want to, play with that at all as I've been in this first 3-year period. So now that I'm continuing to develop and growing in my game, I might take a couple more risks every now and again during the regular season, and never do it during the playoffs. But just to try and learn in those experiences, get up in the rush and, have shots from the top of the circles rather than all the way up the blue line or even lower than that. So, yeah.
You did jump up in the playoffs on the shorty.
Yeah, exactly. That situation just kind of came to me. It's funny, I got 2 shorthanded goals somehow don't have many goals in the NHL, but 2 of them are shorthanded, so feels good, in those situations. I'm confident on the PK, so maybe that has something to do with it. But 5-on-5, trying to be confident. 4-on-4, and if they allow me in those situations, then overtime as well. I'd like to be that defensive presence, but maybe get more opportunities at the net.
Thanks, Mitch.